The Acolyte finale. Okay, it wasn't much of a finale because it didn't resolve much. It didn't resolve anything because basically evil doesn't get punished. See, the reason why George Lucas made Star Wars in the first place, because during the 70s, there were a lot of movies that were depressing and they were shades of gray. They were like anti-heroes. So a lot of the movies didn't have like clear-cut endings, okay? They didn't have satisfying endings. It was like shades of gray, like evil doesn't get punished, all right? So they were kind of nihilistic movies. So that's why he made Star Wars, right? Where everything's clear cut, good and evil is clear cut, and evil gets punished in the end, right? That doesn't happen here. In fact, the opposite happens here. Good gets punished. You know, Master Soul, spoiler alert, gets killed. And not in a satisfying way. If you're going to kill Soul, let him die of dignity, okay? If they were going to kill Soul, he had the lightsaber battle, right? Between him and Quimir. If Quimir is so damn important, because the show's called The Acolyte, so definitely it's focused on the Sith, right? So then that means Quimir has to win. So don't waste 5 minutes. They had 5 minutes worth of lightsaber battle and have an unsatisfying ending. Quimir gets his lightsaber cut and Soul gets his lightsaber dashed away. Come on, man. This is crap. It was crap, okay? It wasn't good. I mean, if you're going to have a lightsaber battle, especially one that lasts 5 minutes where you cut between two different fights, with the fight between May and Osha, like 3 times, and then nobody gets cut. Listen, you can't have lightsabers. A sword can cut through anything, right? And have 2 people fight, and nobody gets maimed. Nobody gets maimed or killed. That's why this whole series is based on the stupid premise. Either A, Quimir loses a hand, then he loses and dies, or B, Saul loses a hand and dies. Okay, that's how these fights get resolved. Either Saul loses a hand, or an arm, or a leg. Pick your pick. It's a lightsaber. It's supposed to cut through things. I'll have one thing I'll stand corrected on. In Disney Star Wars, one person didn't get cut by a lightsaber in half. It was, what's his name? Snoke actually got cut. All right, but that wasn't in a lightsaber battle. Actually, he got sucker punched with a lightsaber, which is kind of cheap. It definitely is cheap. It still doesn't add to like satisfying lightsaber battles. Okay, somebody has to lose an arm. Okay, you're supposed to illustrate why these things are so dangerous. Okay, and why they're the weapons of choice. Snoke does get chopped in half by Kylo, albeit with telekinesis, the Force, and a lightsaber. Still, I guess that's the subconsciously that's the reason why Rise of Skywalker. No, The Last Jedi was the only one out of those movies I actually liked. Okay, look, the whole premise was dumb about the show. This is a symptom of bad writing. Okay, in the beginning, first episode, May says, "Oh, a Jedi does not draw his lightsaber unless it's to kill." Wrong, because obviously Obi-Wan drew his lightsaber and cut off Waller Face's friend, Doctor whatever his name is, in episode 4. A New Hope. He chopped off his arm. You can chop somebody's arm off and disarm him. In episode 2, Attack of the Clones, when they're in the bar and they're searching for Zam, Obi-Wan chops off her arm because she had a gun. And she didn't fire first, okay? She just had a gun in her hand. Albeit she was sneaking up on him. Doesn't matter. He chopped her hand off first, so he struck first. And chopped her hand off and took her alive. So May could have lost her arm and get taken alive, okay? That's what happens with lightsabers. People lose an arm, and then get a robot arm, or get an hand chopped off and get a robot hand, or like Darth Vader, leave both arms and both legs and get robot limbs, okay? There's a solution. So don't say, oh, May couldn't walk around with one hand. Yes, she could. She just have a robot hand, okay? So this whole thing is a failure. It's just epic fail all around. This is bad writing. People don't understand Star Wars, putting their own personal point of view into a Star Wars, and it doesn't fit, okay? There's a problem with that. That's why sometimes when writers put too much of themselves, doesn't mean you're a bad writer. You're not good at characterization. If you're not good at characterization, you're not a good writer. You're just putting yourself into everything and projecting yourself into everything. So whatever dumb decisions you would make, you make the characters make. And that's why it's bad. That's why Timothy Zahn is a great writer. He wrote the Heir to Empire novels, because when he writes Darth Vader, it sounds like what Darth Vader. When he makes him say Darth Vader say something, it sounds like something Darth Vader would say. Or when Han Solo says something, it sounds like something Han Solo would say. Or Luke Skywalker, or vice versa. He's better at characterization. Leslie Headland can't step out of her own way and write something actually good. She can't get in the head of a character. She just writes what she would do. So Lady Vanessa making all these dumb decisions and doing cover-ups, that's what she would do. She's lie and just rationalize things. This is bad. I don't know. This is just a waste of $180 million. This cost twice what Obi-Wan cost? How? It's terrible. And it was a D-list actors. Okay? Lower than D-list, like E-list actors, okay? So even Carrie Ann Moss is best as B-list or C-list at this point. Now, yeah, they made several mistakes. Like I said, Carrie Ann Moss should have been the lead, not Saul. He wastes his life. He should have basically just died fighting. If you're gonna make him fight for that long, someone has to die fighting by a lightsaber. Okay, that's what happens when you fight with swords. Somebody gets cut. He should have lost a hand and then killed. Okay, or he could lose a hand at least to make the lightsaber fight worth doing in the first place, and then have whatever name choke him. Because as it was dumb. The whole lightsaber fight was for nothing. It wasn't good. It wasn't well choreographed. He has a jumping quadruple drop kick, and it doesn't drop the guy. Well, drop kicks are supposed to knock people to the floor, okay? If he jumps somebody, and he kicked him that many times, how did he not fall to the floor? He should have been knocked straight to the floor. As if an anvil was tied to his back and dropped off of the side of a ship. It would have dropped him to the damn floor, okay? He got kicked by a 150-pound man, or 100, maybe even 200 pounds. At least 180 pounds, and gets kicked in the face, and then kicks in the face 4 times, and doesn't drop. There's several things dumb about this series, like the whole thing, like Kwame is fighting blind. Get out of here, man. That's dumb. With the helmet on, he can't see it all. What is that crap? That's the dumbest thing possible. Writing yourself into a corner. It's just bad writing. It doesn't make any damn sense. I don't care how much of a force intuition he has. You still have to be able to see. Okay, that's dumb. That's only good when you're practicing. You have somebody blindfolded. You don't practice blindfolded. You don't actually fight blindfolded. Anyway, it's just dumb. That was dumb. And at least Soul gets a Jedi's burial. He gets burned. Burned at sea. Fine. But it was dumb. And then she disgraced his memory anyway. You became respects by burying him properly, but then you lie on him. Say he was behind everything. If they actually admitted that the Sith were back and the Sith are behind everything, they could have hunted down the Sith, eventually found them, and got Plagueis and kill him. Who makes a 2-second cheap fan service, appearance in this Plagueis. All right, great. Wow. What did I serve? You're not getting a season 2 unless they're really desperate to have content on Disney Plus. They could just do something else. I don't know. It was terrible. At least if they do make another season, it's not going to have $180 million for a budget. So I don't know how they're going to have CGI Plagueis when you couldn't have CGI Yoda. They only showed the back of Yoda's head at the end of this. Man, it was a waste of space. This whole thing was a waste of space. It's just something to watch before The Boys comes on. Okay. Which is 100 times better show. $180 million wasted. Yikes. What was the point? I mean, they would have made their money back better if they made this a movie then. If you're going to spend $180 million, which is more than the budget of Revenge of the Sith by $60 million. Revenge of the Sith costed $114 million, okay? And this cost $180 million? What the hell? You should have just made a movie. You made more money back making this a movie than you are going to get from subscribers. Because you're getting no subscribers from this. I don't know how they expect to make money off of this. The only reason they're making money off this is copyright claims against people who make videos of it and use too much footage. Other than that, they're not making any money off of this series. Okay, they're definitely not getting more Disney Plus subscribers off of this. So what was the point? I haven't watched the good stuff. I haven't watched The Mandalorian over again. Much less this. I maybe watched The Mandalorian season 1 and 2 maybe twice, maybe. I haven't gone back and watched Andor, which is way better than this. Everything is there isn't much that isn't better than this. Even Ahsoka is better than this. And Ahsoka was bad, so it was terrible. Stop making this dumb series. And what's the point of mind wiping May? Let me tell you something, okay? Mind wipe only works on a non-force sensitive person, okay? It wouldn't work on somebody who's come from a virgin, which means she's probably almost as powerful as Anakin, probably. And you can't just wipe her mind. It doesn't work that way. It wouldn't work that easy. And also, they're two people. Aren't they the same person? They're supposedly the same person. That's just a nice way of saying she's a clone. So it didn't make any sense. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work on a weak-minded force. What do you call it? Jedi mind tricks. They only work on the weak-minded. They don't work on everybody. So why does wiping somebody's whole memory work when she's not weak-minded? Obviously, she's strong in the force. Probably stronger than Quimera is. So how could he just wipe her mind? It didn't make any sense. This is bad writing. So they're just writing themselves out of a corner. They wrote themselves in the corner. So, all right, let's wipe her memory. So she can't tell anybody and nobody can just read her mind. That's dumb. And it turned out, yeah, Quimera is Vanessa's apprentice. We knew that already. We knew he was somebody's apprentice. And it shows how people are so dumb. They wanted him to be Plagueis, like that idiot Ryan Arian Screen Crush said that he's supposed to be Plagueis. He's not Plagueis. Anyway, so he's saying he wanted to be Plagueis so badly that he was saying, well, he's ignoring the fact that he himself said that he used to be a Jedi. He was trained by the Jedi, but he just failed. He was cast out. Anyway. And this just confirms that he, most likely is a Sith, more or less, because Plagueis is right there on this planet, hiding in the shadows. It would have been easy to just leave it alone and let him be just a dark Jedi. But they call it the Acolyte, so it's supposed to be the Sith. So this whole show is from the Sith's point of view, is why they make the Jedi look bad. Because from the Sith's point of view, the Jedi are, corrupt and, inept. Much like the writers of this show. Epic fail. So May makes a turn. Osha makes a heel turn. May makes a good guy turn. She kills Soul. He killed her mother, right? Fine. But he didn't do it out of malice. He did it because she was attacking. And looked like she was disintegrating May. So she kills Soul. That's the only emotional part of this. The only time I've seen her doing any acting. This is the first time in 8 episodes you do any acting. The very end, the last 10 minutes of the series, you do a little acting. Both of them. There's some emotion. They showed some sadness, at least, and anger and sadness. That ending part. Finally. It only took 8 episodes for them to finally do some acting. All right. And basically it was unsatisfying. And overall unsatisfying. The Yoda cameo didn't do anything for this series. Obviously, she'd have to tell somebody, or she's gonna keep covering up everything. And neither did the Plagueis. The Plagueis did even less. The Plagueis cameo did even less. So it was terrible. It was weak. I give this thing an F-. Epic fail. And she bled the saber. Let's just point out the fact. Yeah, she bled the crystal to make it a red saber, make it a Sith saber. You don't necessarily have to bleed a crystal to do that, and they're just trying to make her as good as Anakin. Because in the comic book, the Vader comic book, Vader, one of Vader's first comic books, when after he's made Vader from Revenge of the Sith, he was supposed to kill the Jedi without using the Force, and then supposedly he killed the Jedi without using the Force, and then bled his crystal of the lightsaber, the blue crystal of the lightsaber, of the Jedi's lightsaber, to make a red crystal to make it a Sith saber. Which is all right, fine. That's all well and good for comic books, but you don't need to do it here. And stop plagiarizing stuff from the comic books, okay? For this dumb series to try to legitimize your terribly written series by plagiarizing things from the comic books. Are way better works than yours, because Sith lightsaber crystals are usually synthetic. You don't have to bleed a actual kyber crystal to make it red. to make a red crystal for a Sith saber. You could just get a synthetic crystal. That's what most Siths do. Okay, so this is just dumb. It had added nothing to it. It's just weak attempts to like legitimize a bad, a bad series. Okay, a poorly written series, poorly directed series also. So whatever. Anyway, this thing was epic fail. I'm glad it's over. I hope it doesn't get a season 2, but it probably will because they don't care about quality. All they want is quantity. Okay, they want as much quantity as content as they can get out. To make, to capitalize off of the Star Wars name. Okay, so they can keep doing this till there's a revolt. All right, whatever. It's gonna keep happening. All right, there probably will be a season 2 and it'll be terrible, even worse than this because they're not giving them $180 million again. Even though they don't deserve a season 2. They didn't deserve a season 1 either, but they got one, didn't they? Enough said.